Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture and for episode 26 of Saturday Morning Makes. Let me welcome you guys. Thank you for joining me for Saturday Morning Makes. If you are new here, welcome. I send a big hearty welcome and ask you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and hit the like button as well. And when I'm all done, drop me a comment downstairs. I love to talk with you guys, and sometimes there's kind of conversation starters and sometimes there aren't. But yeah, I'd love to chat with you downstairs, even if it's just to say, hey girl. And if you've been with me before, welcome back. You guys know I love you. Your support means the world to me. And for Saturday Morning Makes, this is the brainchild of Miss Jillian Norwood. Jill has become a very precious friend to me, and this was her brainchild. She calls it an open art collaborative, and she started it during COVID when things were really hard and there was very little human contact and people just needed means to connect, to create joy, just to create, to kind of put all the stresses that COVID brought with it, to kind of put that aside for a little while, give ourselves permission to do some self-care, and specifically self-care through art. Now, everyone is invited to participate. We upload typically Saturday mornings. It doesn't have to be, and I feel like the longer we go on, it's kind of an everyday thing, just kind of whenever everybody can. But yeah, the idea is that we post on Saturday mornings, and you can post to Facebook, Instagram. We have a Facebook group called Saturday Morning Makes. There's more to it, and every other day too, or something like that. It's a long name, but if you just enter Saturday Morning Makes, the group will pop up. If you use the hashtag SatMornMakes, everything should populate. So anybody who's posted a YouTube video should populate for you if you enter hashtag SatMornMakes on YouTube. I hope you understand. If you don't understand, drop me a comment downstairs and I'll try to answer your question. I'm tech savvy enough to get by, but I'm not tech savvy. Does that make sense? All right, now I'm going to jump in. First, I need a sip of my water. I guess I needed more than a sip. My apologies. I'm going to start by doing just a really, really quick flip through, not of the whole pattern paper pack, but just of the pattern papers that I use in these tags that I've made over here. So we have this beautiful bokeh, and this pattern paper is new in the last two releases at Whimsy. It's called Bookeh, B-O-O-K-E-H. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful. But that beautiful bokeh, now that could be for Christmas, that could be for any time of the year. This one, you tell me if they're a success or not, but the piece that I cut out of here had the two most mournful ghosts right in here, and yeah, I love these. This guy kind of looks like an angel ghost. And this one very much like a candy corn. Love that. This one with bats and moons and bokeh. This one is a play on bokeh because all the little jack-o'-lanterns, the JOLs, as I've heard them called, the little JOLs are the bokeh. And then some more bokeh with bats, really pretty. And those are the ones that I've used. Now, I actually just did a little Whimsy haul that was released right before this video, and I did do a full flip through. I didn't do it slowly, but if you want to watch that video, I would invite you to, and you get a full flip through of this pattern paper pack, as well as some very, very good new products from Whimsy, the last few releases. But so these tags that I'm about to show you use these specific pattern papers, and it also used this stamp set. It is called October 31st. In fact, I used each one, and then I used this die set called Nested Webs dies. I also used my stitched circle dies. I'm not sure where they are or why they're not here. But anyway, let me set these aside, and then we'll start going through. We'll start going through my goodies. So this one, and see, you really can't see the background papers because what I did is I used the nesting dies to create frames, And then I cut out vellum instead of acetate. I just thought it would be something fun and new. And I thought it was more translucent than it is. And you can see the shakers. It just kind of implies that there's something there. It's like, I don't know, it's like privacy glass or something. You know, you can see, but you can't see. But anyway, there's pretty bokeh in there, and I used all of these this calls for confetti, and this one is called Halloween on Main. You can see those beautiful colors. I did add some extra green confetti in there, which I don't have out with me, and then I did just a little bit of ink blending, just some kind of pinky red and then the green, just to put some color on there. And then I have little bats added to it as well, and just a little bit of hot glue and some ribbon. Just made them, and you could use these for whatever you want. You could add it to a card, you could put it on a gift bag, you could hang it over a bottle of wine. You know, it's just cute. It's novel, I suppose. But there is that one. Now this one, I have used the Blushing Boo, and I don't know if you can see that color scheme, kind of the orange and the pink bat, or the pink ghost. There's little black bats, there's gold down in there, white, very pretty. And this matches, well, actually, let me show you guys which pattern papers they are, because it's kind of hard to tell. So this is this one, and you can see how those papers match, or the confetti matches that paper. This one is this one, and you can see how those coordinate really well as well. So those are really fun. So I'm going to set them over here so we can kind of keep going. I know I didn't give a whole lot of detail about this one, but it's pretty self-explanatory. We know the paper, and I just did a little bit of ink blending on that just to kind of pull out some more of that pink, so that those pink ghosts, that the few that do show through, so that they make sense. So let's go ahead and look at the one that I used to make this. So you can kind of see the ghost back there, kind of. But this one I actually created my own blend. Now I used the stamp, and then of course I used some yellow and green to do a little bit of ink blending on there. Again, just to make sure that there's color. And yeah, this is that. And then the blend that I created, now this one I want to say is from Brutus Monroe. It's just some little glow-in-the-dark bits. I've had them for years. I think this is the first time I've used them, but they're down in there. But I loved that they were that kind of electric oozy-goozy green. Thought that was fun. And I feel like I may have added, no I didn't. I started to say I feel like I may have added some green that coordinated with that, but I didn't. But there are also some diamond sparkle gems in there, and some prism stars. I've been using these prism stars a lot lately. They are just really coming in handy for my Halloween makes. So there is that one. So we'll set that one up there. And then we've got this guy next. So the yellow, the orange, and the white. And this one I feel like is the most successful. You can really see those bold colors back there. And I feel like this looks nice. It's a nice blend around there. This part I'm not so happy with, the ribbon, and I just wanted to make it dangly, but it was not incredibly successful. But just a safety pin with a little bat and a couple more bats on there. And again, the ribbon is just hot glued on. And you can see that this is kind of icky back here. Getting things to line up on these was kind of complicated with all of the points, because it's not symmetrical. You know, spiderweb's not symmetrical. So getting them to line up was kind of hard. So I trimmed it off. But also I went in and I used, excuse me, I used a Sharpie. Sorry. I used a Sharpie to color the tape. So these are not my best work, but they are fun. And again, they're just novel, and you know, oftentimes when you give people something with a gift or whatever, they're just going to chuck it unless you somehow make them feel guilty. And I'm not that one, right? I'm not that one that's going to do that to somebody. But anyway, the sparkly bits that I used, This one is the main one. It's called the Autumn Leaves, and it had some bigger leafy leaves in there, like some, no, I don't know if they're plastic. I don't know if they're acrylic. I'm not sure what they're made. They're not acrylic. Anyway, I used both of these, and I started to use these. Like, this is kind of what sparked me and made me want to do a candy corn one. And then when I saw that paper, but it's just, these are too bright. These are neon-y, and they just didn't coordinate with those. But I will be using these sooner or later this season. I'm just not there yet, but I really, really like those. Now for these last two, they're very similar. It's these. So we've got the pinky purples and we've got the oranges and the blacks. So these are very, very similar. And to be honest, I don't know if I can tell you which is which in the background. I don't think that I can. Oh, no, there's the little JOLs. So that one's that one. This one's this one. But look, even the colors that I blended on the little tags are the same. So I use the same mixes. These are the falling leaves as well. This is falling leaves pink. This is the falling leaves orange. And what the colors mean is that they have these are the little falling leaves. So this one, oh, that one's the autumn leaves. That one did not have. This one that I said it had leaves and I couldn't figure out what they were made out of, this one did not. These ones do. That one's called the autumn leaves. These are the falling leaves, and you can see that that's orange, and that's what this is called, the falling leaves orange. But look at the color combo. Let me see, do I have a plate I can use? I do. But look at that with the teals, and you wouldn't think that the teals would work with this, and really they don't. But what I did was pulled out what I needed. I pulled out these leaves, and I pulled out these coppery colors because they pull out that deeper orange in there. But then this one matches perfectly, and this is the autumn leaves pink. So I also pulled out some of the pink leaves. And see how bright and bold that pink color is. And then I don't know if I can get this put back without making a mess here today. Well, let me see if I can just show you in another bowl. Yeah, I've got this little guy. But look at that mix. That's in there too. These beautiful, completely flat confetti. Such sparkle. They're mirrored. They're gorgeous. And then those leaves, that's what's in there. And then this one also has some little jack-o'-lantern ones. I want to say that these are from, yeah, they're from this one. The Halloween on Main. But same thing, I did everything the same way. This one I added the little extra skelly head to it, and then I added another one on a safety pin, again just trying to get the dangly look, unsuccessfully, but anyway, that's what I did. So those are the papers that I used and the reasons that I used the shaker bits that I did. And again, all of the shaker bits are from this Calls for Confetti. And I just want to gather these up and make sure that we can keep seeing. I have 3 more things to show you, but they're all related and it'll go really fast. So let me move my papers. Let me get this confetti mix out of the way. All right, now I just got my order from Whimsy. I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was the day before, but this is my order from the September 1st release. Guys, I am telling you, this release is out of this world. And so these are the cards that I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn them over. These are the products that I used. I did use this. It's Cloudy. Well, that one's the Dottie 6x9. I just have them both in this one because I lost my other thing and I don't want to just leave it out. But that's Dottie. You can see that I've used that one a lot for gel plate printing. This one I used the clouds for one little element. This is brand new. It's called Harlequin. Again, it's a 6x9 stencil, and you can see that there are 3 different Harlequin patterns on here. This one's very clean, very symmetrical. Love. This one's super grungy and distorted. Also love. This one is like a mid-grunge, and I think it's probably my favorite. It's the one that I've used today. And I've only used it once, and I put some stencil butter through it. It's black tie from the Crafter's Workshop. it's beautiful. It's a high gloss paste, but it does not clean well off of your stencils. But I got it cleaned off as quickly as I could. But anyway, this kind of is the star of the show in terms of the background, and this will make an appearance on my Monday morning video for Whimsy as well. So there's that. And then this one is called Exquisite Beauty. Again, it's brand new from Whimsy. Love. Like, if I don't get anything else the rest of this year, this purchase, yeah, I'm done. I could be done and be very content and not need another thing. These are absolutely stunning. They're red rubber. We've got the death moth. We've got the beautiful skull and the wreath of flowers. We've got 3 different corners. Now, if you don't look close, they look like they're all the same, but they are not. And then there's a quote here from Edgar Allan Poe: "There is no exquisite beauty without some strangeness in the proportion." And again, that's Edgar Allan Poe. And then there's a little sentiment banner: "Strangeness, exquisite, beauty, death moth." I have a big idea for that death moth, but I've used her today. And then also, there's these laces. It's called Exquisite Lace. There's 3 different ones. And does that look familiar? That just struck me. Just struck me. This one especially. Yeah, love it. And Tim Holtz just released a what is it called? An embossing folder today with chains and baubles, and it again reminded me of that. And I'm like, okay, all right, here I am. So those are absolutely stunning as well. These are little batty bats. I did not use them on the tags, but I don't know why I go crazy with die cutting these days. But I die cut them out from, excuse me, matte black, some thicker cardstock, some thin cardstock, some glossy, some glitter. I just kind of went batty crazy. But there are 5 different sizes, unless I've lost one. It does not say. I'd have to go back and visit the website, but there are 5 in here, plus some googly eyes, but I've used them in one context today. And then this is called Home Sweet Haunted Home, and if that looks familiar to you, it's because it's the same as the 31. Let me see if I can find that quickly. Probably not, because I'm slow. Same artistry, right? I love them both. I don't know who the artist is at Whimsy. I'm sure, again, if you check the website, it'll tell you. But very pretty. I used this stamp and this stamp today. So let me move these out of the way, and I will share my makes, and we'll talk about how I made them. So initially, I took the stencil, and I had 2 A2 size panels, and I put the stencil butter through them, and I created 2 panels. I set them aside to dry. Then I sprayed this with water, and then I printed them. And so this is the first one that I printed, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's lots of texture because there's lots of paste. It's not just pigment. There's actual paste on there still. So that's the first one. And then, no, this actually probably was the first one. Yeah, this one was the first one. It's thicker. And then that was the second one. And it's just printing the stencil. So this one's very kind of distorted, if you will. I mean, if you look close, you can see where the diamond shapes are. But yeah, so sprayed it with water, printed, sprayed it with water, printed, sprayed it with water, printed. So that's number 3. There's a little bit of texture still, but mostly it's pigment. But also it's more defined because you don't have the paste distorting the shapes. Sprayed it with water, printed, and again, that was my last one. And you can see there's very little pigment. I think I could have gotten one more out of it, but I stopped. I was very messy at that point. But all of these will be showing up on my Monday video for Whimsy, so make sure that you check back. I usually do those on my channel as well, maybe not the same day, but check it out on Whimsy, or wait until it's released on my channel. But these will be making an appearance very soon. But for the panels that I used for the cards that I'm about to show you, again, I put the paste through, I set them aside to dry, and then when I was done with all that, and still allowing those to dry, I made this one. So let me set these aside. So with this, I took the scene and I stamped it and I heat embossed it, and then I partial stamped it again over on the left. You see what I mean? I inked it up, and I used some what is it called, like spot stenciling? Not stenciling, masking. And I just kind of covered up the places that I didn't want to get inked or stamped, and then I just stamped it down and heat embossed it as well. And then I put that underneath it. I love that white line in between. It creates a beautiful segue. And then it's this guy. Let's see if I can pull him out. The one that looks like my wrist. How cool is that? And at first glance, these little curlicues look like little skulls. They're not, but they look like it. But again, I stamped and I heat embossed. I heat embossed in clear embossing powder, stamped with black Versifine Clear Nocturne, and then heat embossed with Emboss from Imagine Crafts and Sukaneko. And then here I have just one of those small spider webs, and I have the eyeball is from, I just pulled everything out. Where are they? Oh, they're over here. The eyeball is from there. Now this one is called Zombie Boy, one of my absolute favorites from Whimsy. Love that creepy looking eyeball. And then the boo is from the Gnome Witch. I just cut it off and inked it up. And then the It's Too Scary Out There, forgive that for being wonky, but that is from the Cutie Batootie from last year. It's too spooky out there. And then it says Cutie Batootie. There's these. Wake Me When It's Halloween. Hello Batiful. These are so, so cute. And then you see that? What does that say? Push. That's from MFT. These were a freebie last year, and that's it. And I almost never do interactive. That makes me so happy. Amanda, look what I did. Amanda is my sweet friend and the owner. She and her hubby, Micah, own Pear Blossom Press, and she encourages me almost every time we talk to use them. And they're easy, y'all. I am not mechanically inclined. I am not one to do interactive cards, but I mean, it's so worth it. So stinking cute. I'm gonna have to do one in a video because it really was not hard. So yeah, thank you, Amanda, for all of your encouragement, and it's so satisfying. So there's that. Let me clean up here a little bit, but you can see it took me a lot of different components to get there, but easy enough, truly easy enough. So there's that one. And then once my other panels were finally dry, then I created this one. So I used those bats that I die cut this morning. Now, I don't know what I've done wrong with this action wobbler, but it does not want to wobble for me. Does not want to wobble. So my sweet friend Carrie, she's a new design team member for Whimsy. She had a wobbler mishap on her video the other day, and so this morning I was like, yep, the struggle is real. The action wobble struggle. So I have this whole bowl of action wobbles. Some are from MFT, some are from Michael's, some are from this calls for Confetti, and I don't know what came from where. But yeah, I have a bunch, big and small. So anyway, so this you can see the gloss of the stencil, and then I just laid down a strip of cardstock just to be a barrier or a border, I guess like a segue in between. And then I have one of those spider webs that were cut out from the nesting webs, and then I used the stencil, the It's Cloudy stencil, and a little bit of white pigment ink, and I just stenciled on some clouds to the night sky. I didn't do a very good job, but there they are. And then I used 3 of the bats that I cut out this morning, and this one I used some of the eyes. The others I didn't use eyes. And then I stamped the Let's Get Spooky. That one. And that's it. I didn't use any kind of embellishments. I did put some shimmer spray, sheer shimmer craft spray from Imagine. I did add that to him because he was very, very matte, very flat. I added some white with the pigment ink just to kind of highlight his edges, but he just, I don't know, he just blended into the background. So this one is a gold shimmer sparkle spray. So that was the second one that I made. And then the third one I made, I think, is, it's my favorite. Like, I want to swoon. I look at that and I want to swoon. This one will be one that goes up on my board and I don't share. Look at that. Look at those images. Like, okay, break it down. So again, the stenciled panel, and I only did about half of each, a little more than half. This might be, I don't know, just over 2/3. But then again, I laid down another piece of cardstock to create that separation. This one I heat embossed in clear. I just wanted it to have a little bit of shine. And then I stamped the other, I stamped this one, but I turned it this way. And you can see that, stamped it and heat embossed that in clear as well. And then I just found this little panel in my stash. It's a panel of black glitter stock. It's already die cut with a stitched edge. And I thought, perfect. Perfect. And I wanted to make her stand out. And so I used my Olos. But yeah, so I just did some very, very light coloring on her. I think she's gorgeous. And then I did the same on the Exquisite. I stamped and heat embossed, and then I fussy cut the word Exquisite, and I've popped it up on some foam tape on the word banner, and that's it. This is a little wonky. I mean, y'all, if you know me, you know I don't worry about perfection, and almost everything I do has some form of imperfection. It's not purposeful, but I'm also purposefully not stressing about it, because I still think she's beautiful. She's the favorite thing that I've shown you today. It's this one. Absolutely love. And I love them all. I mean, this is super cute. It's very fun. This, I mean, you heard me laughing and heard the pride that I had in that. I mean, and she's my favorite of everything. So, y'all, that is everything that I have to share with you today. Thank you so much. I love you. You're so supportive. I appreciate you. Go ahead and leave me a comment downstairs. Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, all those things. You have no idea how much that helps. And of course, like I had mentioned earlier, if you're going to shop, please use my links downstairs. You don't have to shop even if you just go look. Yeah, just use the links if you would. You don't have to, but it does help me very much. So I thank you guys. Mwah. Until next time, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Saturday Morning Makes, and I'm out.